No, I gotta mark the middle. Let's take this line. I'm doing it backwards. Many times a backsplash will have a feature above the stone, and that's no different in this case here. In fact, there's a piece of marble that I'm marking here. I'm actually marking the center on all four edges. That is going to be above the stove, and it's going to be surrounded by some marble pencil liners, and the backsplash is actually all glass subway tile. So this video is just going to be about the actual feature and the pencil liner and how I put it up above the stove. The glass subway tile is actually not going to be part of the video, in a sense that I'm not going to show how I installed that, except for one little element where the feature had to be installed. So this feature comes with a bunch of directions, and it's actually quite delicate, so you don't want to get any pencil marks on the front of it, and they actually say don't touch it with any metal, etc., etc. It's really quite delicate. So anyway, so I marked the center of that piece on all four edges so that I could cut the pencil liner around it. So you can do it the way I'm doing it on this particular type of pencil liner because it's marble. So if you've got a good blade, you can cut it in the middle and you won't even ever know that it's being cut. If this were a porcelain or a glazed tile, you probably might not be able to do it this way. So for the first piece, I just cut the 45 on the angle, and then I marked where the center of the length of it. Now for the rest of them, I'm actually going to do it a different way. Instead of trying to cut the 45 at the right place, I am just going to mark the ends on a 45-degree angle. I'm going to cut the 45, and then I am going to cut the straight side to get the proper length. So I'm just lining up the piece that I cut, getting it in the proper position, and I'm going to cut the two bottom pieces on a 45, so the diagonals are already cut for the corner, and then I'm going to trim them to the right length. And then I'm going to cut the far corner also on a 45. So I have the two bottom corners cut at a 45. But I've only got one piece, the first piece I put in, that's trim to length. Okay, so these two pieces are easy to cut because I can see my pencil mark on the edge of the feature. So I can get my 45 in the corner, mark the length of the piece on the bottom there, cut it, and that corner is all set. Okay, because these pencil liners are rounded on the top, sometimes it's difficult to get an accurate mark that you can easily cut to. So I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to put my speed square right up against this pencil liner. I'm going to push the tip of this pencil liner right up against the flat edge of the speed square and mark my straight cut. And then repeat for the rest of them till I got all four corners cut. This way you're not trying to get an accurate mark on a rounded edge. You actually just need to cut a straight cut on the back end. Okay, so they have two bottom corners perfectly cut to size. Now let's do the rest of them. Okay, so if this is your first time seeing my videos, my name is Sal de Blasi. I am a tile installer in the Boston area. I've been installing tile for over 34 years. My channel has almost 700 videos, pretty much all to do with tile, all kinds of how-to videos and a series of complete installations of bathrooms. So if you need some advice or so you need some help installing something, check out my YouTube channel. Okay, so as always, leave your comments in the comment section. I try to answer as many as possible. Check out my online store, dibsmart.com, and please don't forget to subscribe. So if you like, also check me out on Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description to that. But most important of all, as I said, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, so that's it. The entire pencil liner frame is cut and fit. Now it's time to install it. So, to install that, we're going to have to put in a couple of rows of tile to where the the feature is going to go. So I need to have those tiles on before I install the feature. So once I get those tiles on, then we're going to go right ahead and install the piece. So I'm using a polymer modified Thinset to install this tile. This is actually a high polymer content Thinset for the glass tile, but that's another video. I am going to spread the Thinset where the feature goes. I have the center line is actually on the center of a grout line. So I'm going to line up the feature with that grout line right there. First I'm going to put in the two bottom pieces of the feature, which would be the two pencil liners, and then I'm going to shim them up to get the correct grout line on both sides. I'm actually going to end up putting a bunch of more shims in so that all the weight isn't on just a couple of shims. So on the wall I spread my Thinset beyond where the feature goes and beyond where the pencil liners go, and I made sure that I spread everything in a directional troweling. So that means all the Thinset lines, all the ridges go in one direction. I'm going to do the same on the piece, and then when I put the piece up, I am going to make sure that the lines are all going in the same direction. Okay, since the pencil liner that I'm putting in on the side here is sitting on a 45-degree angle, it's going to tend to want to slide down just because of the weight of the liner, and then I'm going to put another liner on top of that, so it's going to even add more weight. So I'm temporarily putting a screw right next to it just to stop it from sliding down. When I install the tile next to it that goes around it, then I can remove that screw, obviously, because it can't stay, and that will hold the liner in place so it doesn't slide down. Normally I would just use some blue tape or some kind of a tape to hold it in place, but because this tile comes with a lot of restrictions, and blue tape, not putting blue tape on the surface of the piece is one of them, I had to use the screw trick.
Huh?